Hi everyone, Wismeril here. Today in this video I want to showcase the speed farming unique build that I have explained in the previous video with all details about the build guide, and I want to showcase how you will play this build fighting two of the ubber unique bosses, Varshan and the Beast in Ice. So basically, unlike the gameplay that I've shown in the previous video, in this video it's all going to be boss fights. And you can see that we're not going to use charged bolt very much. Only when the boss is going to spawn adds, that's the time we're going to use a charged bolt, but the rest of the time we're only going to use chain lightning. And you can see that the fight against the Beast in Ice is quite fast. I think one fight was 1.5 minutes, as far as I remember. Keep in mind that I do not have the perfect gear and my glyphs are only leveled up to 15. All the glyphs in the build, all 6 glyphs, are leveled to 15, and for the gear I only have 2 out of 4 of the wanted affixes in many cases, and sometimes I have 3 or 4. Like, you could definitely have a lot more damage on this build if you level up your glyph further and if you find better yellow items and maybe better legendary items that you want to imprint on your gear. I'm running with the base, aspects that you get from the dungeons. There's only 1 or 2 I think that I upgraded, but nothing major. And when it comes to, I'm using the second version of the build where 2 of the legendary aspects are being replaced by the accelerated and the conceded legendaries, which are a lot better than the starting one. So that's the only difference I made. But you see, it's pretty close to the starter build you have if you are just starting to farm your materials and invoke those bosses. Now let's talk about the gameplay. So to fight those bosses, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind when it comes to damage rotation. First, of course, we are going to pop unstable currents when it's up for 10 seconds of 25% additional attack speed and a few free casts of either chain lightning or charged bolts. The other casts are nice, but they don't do as much damage as those two. Now, you do want to have a few buffs up when you fight in order to have increased attack speed. We are running the vampiric power, remember, where a percentage of your total movement speed funnels into your attack speed. Therefore, when you fight the boss, you want to have maximum movement speed as much as possible. And this is done by activating Flame Shield when it's up for 25% movement speed, as you see here. And you see the teleport icon. Every time you teleport for 3 seconds, you have 30% additional movement speed. You want this buff active all the time. And as you can see here, I'm doing a good job keeping it up through the evade and teleport enchantment, because the cooldown of this evade enchantment gets lowered by 1.2 seconds from the prefix on our boots. Therefore, as we fight the boss, we will have this evade enchantment available every 3 seconds. Look at that. It's up, evade, and it's gonna come up, I think, there. Yeah, so you have 100% uptime on this. By having the 30% movement speed from teleport and the 25% movement speed from Flame Shield, you are capped out at 200% movement speed. Therefore, you gain 80% attack speed, which is huge. This, combined with the 25% attack speed from unstable currents and the attack speed rolls that we have here and there, you can easily achieve 140% additional attack speed, which is huge when it comes to taking down the boss as fast as possible. So 1 minute 30 for the Beast in Ice, which so I'm tackling this boss because I want to loot the Oculus, and the Oculus wand only comes from that boss. That's why I'm doing it over and over. And for a short story, so far I didn't loot it, so I will continue to do that. So that's one of the first boss you want to run. And the second one that you want to run would be Varshan, because Varshan will give you the chest armor that groups enemies and stun them. And the loot pool of Varshan is a lot smaller than the loot pool of the Beast in Ice. So this one has a 20% chance to give you that unique chest armor, while the Beast in Ice has, I think, 8 unique items in the loot table. Therefore, it will take a little bit longer. Varshan is only level 75, while the Beast in Ice is level 85. So 1 minute 30 against the Beast in Ice, and for Varshan it's a lot faster. I think it's 35 to 40 seconds. You can see it goes very, very fast. So this build is very optimal when you don't have many legendaries. You can assemble this one very easily, and as you can see, it's only a 35 to 40 seconds fight against Varshan, a minute and a half against the Beast in Ice, and as you level your glyphs from 15 to 21 and maybe get a few damaging affixes on your gear, it's gonna be even faster. This build, in my opinion, is the best one you can start with to loot all those uniques. And looting all those uniques will bring us to the next build guide I have in store for you. Once I loot these uniques myself, I'm going to assemble them and give you the best possible configuration you can have on a ball lightning build, which is the strongest build of the sorcerer and maybe the strongest build in the whole season 2. So I'm going to give you the most optimized way to run your paragon, skill tree, vampiric powers, items and rolls, and I'll see you some gameplay on how we're going to explode Lilith, Duriel, Nightmare Dungeon 100, whatever endgame, which is Blizzard's current endgame, we have at the moment to play with. So this is Wismeril signing off. I hope you have a blast playing this build. I hope you're very lucky on your loots, and stay tuned because something big is coming.